All right, let's just switch here. Hey everyone, and welcome. I know it's been a while. So, let's turn the music down here. I am going live today with not 1-2 sample libraries to look at. Honestly, I got sent so much stuff in the last couple of weeks, and new releases have come out. It's kind of tough to stay on top of it and feature everything. So what I wanted to do today is just jump on a stream, write some music, and use a bunch of these new releases that have been sent to me, show you, actually explore them myself. I haven't really touched a lot of them. And so let's see if we can come up with something. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the DAW. Hello, Cubase. In case you don't know, 0.30 update has just been released. And it works pretty well, so no issues on my end here. First, of course, let's check if you can actually hear the DAW. Gonna try that. So hopefully that works. Mic should be good in terms of level. Let me know if there's any issues. And yes, so we are jumping on to what do we want to cover? Levitate with Sound sent me their new libraries. It's the new company by the founders of Really Slow Motion. They set up a company, Levitate with Sound. So behind this is Agus Loncharo, the CEO of Really Slow Motion, and Tomasz Kunstman? Sorry, I forgot the name. So he's involved in that, in the development. It's a percussion library and a spheres or a sound design library. We will look at these in detail today. Definitely you want to check out the new Heritage cello by Sonic Cinema. They were so kind to send me a review copy, so definitely gonna look at that today. One release I'm personally very excited about, if you haven't heard yet, Runa Lunval from, I think, Norway. Yeah, Norwegian composer. He sampled a hard anger fiddle, which is something that is blatantly missing from the sample market, and I think he did a pretty good job at it. I already played a little bit with it. We're gonna look at that a little later. And there was one other library that I wanted to take a look at. Oh yeah, Fracture Sound solo string formations. I forgot that one. So that is another one that we are going to have a look at today. Solo string formations. There we go. This is the one. Come on. Yeah. Solo string formations, intimate textures. Currently on intro sale for 89 euros. So yeah, that's what we pretty much gonna cover today, plus a few side quests here and there. Da Vinci Girl, hello. So without further ado, let's jump in. Let's start with the Fracture Sounds solo string formations. I just got my brand new MK3 today. I'm still getting used to a few of the things, but I really love the integration with Contact 8 and also Contact 7. So having all that stuff directly available on your screen without the need for complete control. So the direct integration works fantastically well on my end. Took a little minute to set everything up, but once it was done, really nice. So let's open this up. Comes as a Contact player library. I'm using Contact 8 in this template here, but I think it also runs in 7. Solo string formations, let's reload that from scratch. So no processing on these sounds, so this is the library straight out of the box. A little bit of limiting on the master bus. You gotta, does my template still work? Yes, it does. There is. It hasn't been updated in a while, besides when Contact 8 was released. So there is a Contact 8 version of the template available. The template totally works. If you have any issues, please shoot me an email and we can look into that. But other than that, it should be fine. I still work with it, so I can tell you firsthand that it's working. Actually, I should try it with the complete integration now. Maybe I open it up later. For now, this is a different kind of template. It's a little stripped down. It's actually from my good buddy Alex Pfeffer's latest trailer course. I just downloaded the template that he offered there and gave it a spin. Just wanted to see, because it's a little bit of a different approach than I usually use. And I like the simplicity of it. It's really pretty straightforward and not very taxing on CPU and stuff like that, which is very cool. So it's very easy to work with. If you want to check it out, he just released his new Trailblazer 2 trailer course. He just released an album with epic score, and he goes into detail on the songs that he wrote there. Really, really good value. Very interesting content. So big shout out to Alex. Great stuff. If you want to learn more about trailer music production, he's your guy. He knows what he's talking about. So, Fracture sounds. They have string formations. If we quickly look at our library tab here. So, Fracture sounds, we had the Woodwinds petrichord, then they had the soft string soloist. Trails was one of their latest libraries from last year. And they, on and on, refined the concept of their libraries. I think with petrichord, they introduced these smart intervals. And now they introduced an auto arranger into the GUI here, so you can now select. It's solo strings. It's violin, viola, and cello, and the auto arranger distributes the chords through the onto the individual instruments. So without further ado, let's just play a little bit. So loading it up, the chordal textures sound like this. So you can hear that these alternations have intervals between the notes that you play, and they do it in kind of a smart way, so it's not bound to any key per se. It automatically detects the chords you're playing and then plays the intervals between these notes. You can also set it manually to just play minor 2, major 2, minor 3rd, major 3rd, perfect 4th, and perfect 5th. So if I set this to perfect 5th, it would obviously just play from C to G and from the G to D. I really like the smart function. It works exceptionally well. And let's take a quick look at the interface and the controls that we have. So dynamic obviously is controlled by mod wheel. Then we have color, and cool thing now with the complete integration, I have all these controls right on my display here and can change it from the keyboard itself. So color is like brighten it up a little with EQ or tame it and make it a little softer. Then we have an integrated delay, which we can use or not use, and reverb, of course. So just very dry. The library sounds like this. Bring the reverb back in. And then we have the meanwhile famous layer system with different sound design or pad layers underneath the original sound. If I turn these off, this is just the original strings sound. Let's change to a different articulation here. Let's use the glides. So, and then we have these sound design layers. If I mute the original, so it's like a little bit of a tremolo and flurries. We can solo these as well. Then we have Etheria, so ethereal, and a bunch of others. Equinox. Oh, Mana, that sounds great. And last but not least, let's try a different one. Antara. No. Shine. Okay, let's keep this. And bring back the original layer. That sounds beautiful. We have shimmers. And let's try some of these arranger settings. So like right now it's sitting on auto. Let's say we want to have a cello priority. We see that the colors of the keys now change. And that's also reflected on the complete control. I'm not doing any more advertisement for Native Instruments. I actually bought this myself. So that's not a gift or a review copy or whatever. Unfortunately, I actually asked them, but they didn't do it. So I had to buy it myself. But let's try the alternating flotandos with a violin priority. So, I mean, as you can probably tell, it is a very textural library. It's not made for solo lines playing or things like that. Also, no legato. It's really about these motions between the intervals on the individual strings. But it's cool to have this weaving, ongoing, undulating sound within the strings. You just hold a single note, you obviously don't get these intervals. Let's try flotando trills. right? And this is just the chordal textures. We also have unison textures. So let's try out these for a sec. Expressive sustains. Flottando. Flowing sustains. Let's try a different key. So we were in, yeah. Regular sustains. Let's try sporadic textures. I mean, that's an intro for a cue right there, just holding down 3 notes. That's cool. Brittle sustains. And last but not least, we have the layer blends, which they introduced, I think, with what was it? With Trails, where you get these 3 different layers that you can blend, and I think there's a bunch of presets. Yes, here we have them the same as here. And let's give that a quick play. And within these, you have these different string textures, the original samples, and the atmospheres that you have as add-on layers to the other strings. And that creates, obviously, different textures, and you blend through these with a mod wheel. So that is, all in all, the solo string formations from FRACTUE Sounds. We're going to keep this loaded. Probably going to use this for some paddy background texture. So let's jump on to the next, Sonic Cinema. The follow-up to their emotional cello, the Heritage cello. And boy, oh boy, did they put some work into that. So I loaded it up, no further processing, just the sound straight out of the box. Let's play it. So it's not fully convincing on trills, but that's also not the main goal of the library here. But the legato is really, really fluent. You have 2 or maybe even 3 different legato types. So if you play really soft, you get these like portamento slurs. Play medium velocity and high. And for this one, it's very interesting that we have a very, very cool mic mix available. So this right now is using close, mid, and far. There's an ambience mix. We also have a mixed mic position if we want to get rid of all of that. And just use the mixed mic to save some RAM, because that cello itself sits at like 3 or 4 gigs of RAM loaded up with my contact settings. So that's the mix. Let's check out the close mic. You can hear, I think there's reverb going on. So let's turn this off. I really like the close sound. Let's check the mid mic. Now the close. Is it muted? Yes. Right, so then we have the far mic, just that on its own. And the ambient mic. And yeah, bringing in all 4, we also have this proximity slider on the left here. So if every mic position is loaded, by the way, just so you know, we are looking at what is it? Here we go. 294. I think it's even more when the ambient mic is with us. Is the ambient mic with us in the room? And then we have this proximity slider where we can change from just ambient to getting closer and closer. As you can see, the mic positions change there. And then we obviously have a bunch of different other claims. We have sustains. Soltasto. Let's go a little further away. Harmonics. Tremolo. To play a trill, press 2 keys at the same whole or half tone apart. Okay. Then we have staccatos. Spiccatos. Ricochets. Okay, on loudest velocity you get this brrr effect. And then we have pizzicatos on the last. With a Bartok snap on the loudest velocity. Curious if we can layer by holding shift. Yes, we can. So then you can create like a marcato articulation where you get a little bit of more bite on the initial transient of the note and then have the tail from the sustain. Maybe you can layer that even with tremolo. Doesn't make that much sense, but we could layer it with sotasto if we want to create a more creamy texture, I guess. Oh. Undo the tremolo. There we go. Versus just the regular sustain. Then obviously that would be legato. The legato transition is, I think, roughly 235 milliseconds. So that's what you would need to set your DAW if you want to have it play in time. So if you play it like that and put it on the grid, that obviously sounds ridiculous. Like this. So like this. So with no compensation. Obviously, it's way behind. So yeah, I think it was minus 235. Let's give it a try. And I think what they don't do, the first note doesn't compensate for that. So that will start a little bit too early. So we will need to move that back a little. But it's still easier to just move the first note instead of the other ones. So if I grab this and move this. I have no idea how much I'm moving that, but something like that. It's probably there. Yeah, that sounds really, really nice. And again, I turned all the effects off. So let's bring the reverb back in. Maybe give some medium stage B. We have a bunch of different sounds to choose from. Let's go with that. And maybe a little bit of delay. Not as much. I don't like the delay there. And reverb, let's go with Canyon. Yeah, if we put the string formations on top with the, let's say with the shimmers. So immediately puts it into perspective. Although I would probably disable the internal reverb on this cello, maybe go with a little more further away and put something like Black Hole on top to really make it shine. Not as much, bring it down significantly there, something like this. And again, string formations. So that sounds rather lovely. All right, heritage cello, lots of articulations. This one is, I don't know if it's still on intro pricing. Yeah, it's still on intro price. It's £79, which roughly translates to, I guess, 95 euros. Close to $100, I guess. And, well, actually, the dollar is very good time to buy Euro product or a product like that, because right now it's bad when you get paid in dollars. It's at least when you're in Europe. I digress. So we have the FRACTUE sound string formations, the heritage solo cello. Let's jump over. Let's duplicate this track and take a look at Runa Lunval's NORDIC Echoes. This is his first sampling project. He sampled a solo Hardanger fiddle, and he did a pretty damn good job on this one. Let's load this up and have a little bit of a play. So this is NORDIC Echoes. This is not a Contact player library, so it runs, you need the full version of Contact to run it. Let's go to Classic View. Do I have that in here? Yeah, I have. Okay, so, and as you can see, there's a bunch of instruments in here. We have standard legato tuning, troll stemmed tuning. We will check out these. Let's load this up. Bring it up. And this is no sampled legato. This is a scripted legato, which has its advantages as well as its disadvantages. But let's first just have a listen. Let's play this. Wrong key, wrong octave. There's a little bit of reverb and delay baked in, which you can turn off if you jump into the instrument back end through the little icon up here, and then you can just turn it off. So then there's none of that in there, but let's keep it for now. It just sounds a little bit more lovely with it on. So that is the basic legato patch, standard tuning. I feel that sometimes it sounds close to a harmonica in its timbre. Then we have sustains, which is the same just without the legato. And you actually don't need to play these double stops. He sampled a version natural to the actual key of the instrument, which is E major. And this plays really, really nice. And there's also I think an easy version where you can simply not play wrong, but the keys are not playing what you hear. So it's really just. But it's cool. It sounds really nice. Then we have these double stops as short as well. Right. We have trills. Da-da-da. And then we have ornaments, which is very, very idiomatic to the instrument and what you hear in like Scandinavian and Norwegian folk music. And this patch is meant to substitute some of your notes in your legato lines with these to give it a little bit more of a natural feel. So actually, let's do this. Let's duplicate this and load one instrument with just the legato, and on the other we keep the ornaments. And then let's put a line in and see what else we can do. I just realized that there is a little bit of lag when I'm duplicating Contact 8 instances. I'm not sure if it has to do with the new keyboard, but yeah, it's workable. Just have to wait a little bit for it to load. And going forward, Template's probably going to have these patches all loaded up anyway, so I don't need to worry about it. So that is ornaments. And this one is legato. It's not yet. It is going to become a legato patch. So here we go. I forgot that we also have the trollstemd tuning. So just to have the comparison. So the trollstemd it's definitely quieter than the other one. I would have to reread on the description or rewatch Runa's videos on this one to see what the actual difference is. It's a different, yeah, I think it's actually a different tuning. It's definitely a different sample set than the original legato. But let's go back to the original legato here. And okay, let's see if we can find some inspiration. Obviously something Celtic, Nordic inspired. I have no idea. Let's see. Let's try with piano first. tempo is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a 102 maybe. Oh, something like this. Let's do this as a starting point. So go with the 16th. Let's see. I messed that up totally, did I? I should probably just play that again. This is all, the whole bar is... God. What did I do to be that bad at playing in? Okay, just fixing that a little bit. To make that sit where it should. And I think I accidentally played some triplets in between there. That's why it's so messed up. But I didn't want to do triplets. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Be patient. So, yeah, would have been faster to just play it again. But here we are now, so that should be fine. One more. That one. Okay. So let's put the legato on top. So maybe we can do that in nice. That still has the pre-delay, which we don't need here. Going with 16th here. Let's do this. So, once more, piano is a little quiet. Let's put that up. Okay, let's put that down a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that over to ornaments. So let's just do these long notes, these first three. So I'm going to mute these here. Mute. And these two together. Let's see how that sounds. Go here. Now we see the ornaments. That one is still too early. There we go. Right. And let's have the same volume. All right. So okay, getting there, so not gonna use the same ornament twice. So here we're gonna use the legato and then use the ornament just on that last D. So and another thing that we can do, there's also very typical for that instrument. So I'm going to duplicate the same again, but I'm going to use the sustain. I'm going to just have to wait for that patch to initialize. I may grab a coffee in a second. So let's load. Come on. Yeah, so let's load the sustains standard tuning and bring in I do this and see how that sounds together. That sounds really nice. So we do like pedal notes underneath. Underneath the melody to get this double stop feel. Maybe we do. And then same thing here again. Well, now we have these all going. Not going to do this, just the last one. Last one is going to be ornament. So, and then I need to fix pedal tone. Probably going to do like this. And then with the ornament at the end. Okay, take the sustain or the pedal tone down. Let's name this pedal so we know what it is. Make it a little quieter. Doesn't work. Weird. Hey Craig, good to see you. So let's mute the piano, add some strings. let's see. I'm gonna do 16th notes. That sounds fine. On the 4, we have that G major, so I'll change that to something like this. Let's see. That sounds pretty cool. I like it. Da, 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 da. Something like this. So just the short strings. Yeah, something like this. We could probably add another patch. Just this on top. Let's go. Kind of like a little pedal tone there. Let's move this a little bit to the left. We could bring in brass. Maybe it's a little bold. Let's see. Which brings us to the next percussion library, or the next library that we want to look at today, which is Levitate with sound. I talked about this in the beginning quickly. New sample library venture by the CEO of Really Slow Motion trailer label, and together with Thomas Kunst. Oh, I have to quickly look it up. Is it Kunstmann? Kunst? They did send me the library to Thomas Kunst. Not Kunstmann. Sorry, my bad. My apologies. Thomas Kunst. And yeah, Levitate with Sound is their company, and they have released 2 libraries: the Kinema Percussion, Performance Cinematic Percussion, and the other one is Spheres. We will mainly focus on the percussion today, but they sent me Spheres as well, so we'll have a look at that too. So let's open up the percussion library. I already loaded it. It's down here. So opening up, it's a Contact Player library. It runs in, I think, minimum Contact 7. I'm not sure about that. So this is the library. Comes with tons of presets here. Cool about Contact is that you can now, of course, pre-listen. We turn that up a little bit. All right. So, and we have various individual percussion instruments. what I did here, they have one patch, it's called Hits, which basically contains all the individual instruments. And it is distributed just on the white keys from down here all the way up. So that's what we're going to play with for now. And you can see the name change here of the instrument. It's all in double key layers, so you can there is a lot of tail. There is 3 mic positions. We're using the full mix right now. If we turn on the reverb. Actually, let's turn the reverb down a little. So that's the Grand Casa Ensemble, hard mallets. That's tight. Soft mallets. You can do really nice rolls with that one. Very nice dynamic range. Then we have brush mallets. Low type ensemble. Tom ensemble low. High toms. Sticks. Another pair of sticks. Shaker. Piatti. An anvil. So basically your entire range of general symphonic / orchestral percussion, not tonal percussion, but big orchestral percussion. And there's a bunch of settings that we have on the main page here. First of all, let's try out the different mixes. So let's go with a close mic. Mid. All 3. So you can obviously bring the room down and have more focus and emphasis on the close mics. Then we have these settings over here. And this is pretty important because this is what makes it sound wide. There's 2 settings here. First, this turned off introduces a latency of 41 milliseconds. So if we turn this on, reacts immediately. If we turn this off, you get a little bit of a looser feel, and this is, you hear this like frum frum. That is exactly 41 milliseconds. So what would be recommended, I guess, is to set the playback to 41, minus 41, the negative track delay. Activate this while playing in. Actually, that's too dry for my taste. I want to have this a little bit more roomy and less dry. That sounds nice. So, and then when you're done, deactivate that to have this little bit more relaxed sound with a portion of the sample. And the second one is this button here, and this one does double the amount of samples, or it kind of like stereoizes it, playing two different samples at the same time and moving it left and right. If we turn this off, you can immediately hear how it broadens the sound and takes it apart. It's like double tracking guitar kind of thing. So depending on the sound you're after, if we go with the doubling, then we can turn it to the extreme. So more flammy played. And then if we do the stereoize even more. So that's like ridiculous, but kind of cool. From very much in your face in the center to very, very wide. I like that. It's pretty cool. Let's go back to the full mix for once. Not as much, not as much. We also have this position field or XY pad. And I'm not really sure. It does not really do anything with the mic positions, as far as I can tell. But it works really well. Right? So you can position individual instruments. And this, again, this is the full hits patch. We have other stuff here. We can load the individual sounds and then obviously mix and match them to our likings. By the way, these are rolls. As you can see, it's 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1 second. Actually, let's see. What rolls do we have? We have crescendo rolls. That loads all the instruments. So we want to do a really big roll. I'm going to take every 4th key. That sounds rather nice. Let's take the high ones. So that's with percussion. With cymbals, I meant. All right, and then we have the individual rolls from all the individual instruments. So that is the taikos. What I like is the fact, just on a side note, that when we look at the crescendo rolls and take the taikos, for example, that we just used. So let's say we like the taikos here, but we want to mix them differently than the rest of the rolls. And if we then bring in the taiko rolls again, they have the same keyboard layout. So it's easy to distribute them to the individual tracks without changing the MIDI notes, which I think is just a small detail, but it makes sense. So if we see here on A2, that's a 4-second taiko roll, and if I load the taikos on their own, then A2 is the 4-second taiko roll. Little things like this that make our life a little easier. So we have the hits and the rolls, And the next instrument category that we have in here, they added some pulses. So that is an entire little pulse engine. There's a bunch of presets as well. Let's quickly take a look. Pulses, so these are the presets. The initialized preset doesn't play anything at all because there's nothing loaded. So you have to design your own. Before we do this, let's listen to some of the presets here. There's a bunch of more, so try this. I don't know why it played halftime first. But definitely some nice sounds in there. Let's add the instrument header. Maybe we have these from the snapshots. Let's load the initialized snapshots. No snapshots. Okay, so when we build from scratch, one thing that I did not really like, just as a feedback maybe, when I decide on a sound, first of all, if I select a sound, why do I also have to turn it on? That doesn't really make sense. If I select a sound, have it play, right? I need to turn it on. Next thing, first time I'm playing it, the first time it's like halftime. Okay, this one is halftime. Don't know why the first played halftime. So I can then bring in a second layer, of course, and again have to turn it on. Which obviously creates some nice mixtures there. Hey Flosy, good to see you. So, and what I want to say, one thing that I'm missing is if I want to change one of these parts of the sound, it shouldn't be too hard to add like a left-right button here to switch through and not having the need to go through the menu again. So just here, like click and have the next sound loaded. That would be helpful. Was just something that I wanted to add. Same thing just happened. So loaded a sound, it plays half time first, and then it plays double normal time. So, and then we have a bunch of effect slots that we can use per layer. So if we say, let's distort this. Same thing again, I'm loading an effect. Why do I have to turn it on as well? That if I load something, turn it on by default, and then if I don't want it, I turn it off, right? But not really sure why. It's just a little bit of a design flaw in my opinion, if I choose something that I have to turn it on as well. So, okay, and let's say on this one, I just want the drive portion and only the high parts. So I'm doing the low one only here. Maybe even filter that. So now I have like a high distorted layer and a low. Oh, I think I just realized something. If I play soft, the velocity controls the playback speed. I didn't know that. That makes sense. Might have been helpful to have just a little note somewhere like velocity equals playback speed. Maybe it is somewhere here, and I just didn't see it. Yeah. So we could put this underneath our little tune. So, I mean, if we were to do like a Nordic Celtic inspired jam with some low bad ass percussion pulses underneath, then we would use this. This is not in time. Right, so you get the idea. There is a bunch of pulse sounds that you can create straight out of the engine. Let's go back to the hits patch here, just add a little bit of percussion. So I'm going with the initialized state of the instrument, putting that on -41. A little less reverb. So going into let's try this. Click, record. Just a little bit of movement there. Let's add soft. There we go. Very quiet. Putting that on the second beat as well. Cut, and duplicate this. So we have. Don't like the brass there, so let's mute this for now. What I could totally see here is adding EDA. We did a stream on EDA a while ago, latest library by Wavelet Audio with a Tegel hopper. So let's see if we can add this underneath as a little bit of a more medieval sounding layer for the strings, like just a little bit of a sustained sound. Not sure if that's gonna work. We obviously need the correct tuning, so that's D80. Let's use DGD. Let's go with 8th rhythm. Well, maybe do quarter notes. Let's try this. Why there is so much reverb going on? Okay, we want to do quarter notes. Offset is 140. Let's play True Legato. Let's try this. Solo that. So let's fully quantize that. And yeah, minus 140, I think. No, that's too much. It's 80. So yeah, it needs to be a little bit quieter. If we put that in the back, let's quickly test these two together. I think the True Legato is messing things up here. Not really digging that. So let's turn this off. Rebo Legato, there you go. Offset is, oh, 1/32 note. So it's not, kind of makes sense. So I just have to move everything a 32nd note to the left. I think that's the way it was played. I forgot about that. No, that wasn't it. Maybe everything. That wasn't it. I don't want to restart the sequence. I think that's the problem. Okay, now start with the 32nd before. We just a full bar behind. So maybe we do this. I don't know. I don't know why this is not working. Something is very, very weird here. But let's see how it sounds together. But we're kind of getting there. Okay, that needs to be there on 8th notes. What I'm going to do is make sure that the first key switch is the lowest one. Copy that over to the male vocal. I move that octave down. Maybe turn that down just a little. That sounds rather lovely. Like it. Remove this. Remove this, and this is going to be okay. Let's add a little bit more percussion. So we use the kinema. So just a little bit. Okay, that didn't record. Gonna just duplicate this. Let's add a roll. This is Tommy Profit. Okay, let's try this. That needs to go there. Kinda. Turn this down just a little bit. Choir's loud. Anyway, I mean, the thing is, I wanted to try something to get a little bit of an idea what the NORDIC Echoes library sounds like, which is really cool. Just the strings on their own. I like that sound very much, especially if you could layer that with legato strings, violins, and get that slightly ethnic feel behind the string line by just layering in the NORDIC Echoes legato. Because of the nature of the sound, it's a little more, for lack of better words, dirty or more ethnic-y, not as clean. And I love layering non-clean sounds with clean sample recordings of orchestra. Most sample libraries are just too clean for my taste, and layering them with a little bit more dirty stuff makes them a little more interesting. Anyway, I will leave the links to all these libraries we looked at today in the video description if you want to check them out. Most of them have a few more days left. I forgot one. I forgot the spheres from Levitate with Sound. To be honest, there is not too much to say about this library. Let's initialize. It's a little similar to what we saw in the Pulses engine, though this is not based on pulses, but on, I think, field recordings and drones. So let's load a bunch of presets and have a listen. So you have this like layer blender that you can also automate through this motion here, and you can determine how much it moves. And then you have various sound layers. Same criticism here that I had on the library before. If I want to change some of the sound layers, it might be cool to have a left-right button to switch through them instead of clicking in the list. Let's listen to just a few more presets. So this really is like a spheres layer. Flowsy, no giveaway today. It was just trying to catch up with all the libraries that I got sent to showcase. So I'm not going to say if you heard one sound of this library, you heard them all, but they are very similar in nature. So this whole thing is really just an underscore spheric, atmospheric drone type of generator or player. So I think that's why I didn't go too much into detail there. So if you need these type of sounds for horror scoring, game scoring, things like that, it's always great to have something like that. But it's also honestly just a tad limited in what it can do. I mean, you have obviously the effects that you can add, and maybe what I could totally see this making it more usable, or even more as it is like a stutter engine, something like that. When you, for example, if you have something like this, just to kind of create a little bit more rhythmic interest. I mean, obviously there's third-party tools, but having that in an engine like that, to me, makes these type of sounds just more usable than just the simple pads. It's 20, 40, how much is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah, roughly 40, no, it's more. It's 100 layers probably of individual sound layers. And let's solo one of them and turn the effects off. So listen just to the and obviously these are meant to evolve over time and do more and more, evolve more and more. So I can totally see this usable in a bunch of situations. They are oftentimes less tonal and more, not atonal, but not bound to the key that you're playing. They obviously follow the key range, so if you play low, you get low tones. That might be nice with a bit crusher. Oh, something is controlling the mix of the filter. So obviously with the included effects, you can create some nice, really nice, weird atmospheres. So it is a playground to create your own atmospheres. So that's something to keep in mind. with, again, tons and tons of different layers to work with. Something that might be interesting, like I said, little button left and right for the navigation. Maybe something that lets us rhythmically vary a little more. But other than that, nice underscore and pad or textural library that also is the first release from Levitate with Sound. So just so you know, new sample company. The percussion is definitely very well done. The kinema, we have them, and packs a nice punch. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That shall conclude today's little look. I should have brought in the solo cello into the northern composition here. Yeah, you kind of get the idea. So we... That sounds really good. I like the Heritage solo cello. Again, links are in the video description. A bunch of these instruments are on introductory sale for a while longer. And yeah, all I can say is thank you so much for tuning in. I wanted to showcase a bunch of libraries. We will probably in the future going to do a few more of these, having a look at different libraries in one go instead of focusing just on one library. There will be one stream coming up soon on best services at World 7, and there will also be a giveaway. And I have a bunch of libraries from Sonora Cinematic that I want to take a look at that they kindly sent over. So that's what we're going to do as well. But for now, and other than that, thank you all so much for tuning in today and have a wonderful weekend. I see you very soon. Bye-bye.